I honestly don't see what the big fuss is about. I mean, the movie's all right. We definitely gonna get into this.
Malfunctioning program who wants to live. Fascinating.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Today we're getting into Tron Ares, the latest sequel to the Tron movie. Starting off, the movie introduces us a world where digital constructs are beginning to interact with reality. Warring conglomerates are racing to bring these constructs into the real world. One led by Julian Dillinger, played by Evan Peters, the grandson of the original antagonist, and the other MCON, managed by Eve Kim, played by Greta Lee. The story leans heavily into the digital versus real world tension. I think it's all right. Exploring programs that show a hint of self-awareness. It may not be the world we wanted. I wanted a bit more of Tron Legacy. I wanted to see more of the cityscapes. You wanted to see Tron. You wanted to feel what it is to be going into a video game world. The world building is solid. There's a sense of high stakes, corporate machinations, and the technology wonder that fans have come to expect from Tron. That said, while it delivers visually and conceptually, it does feel more like a Disney Plus production rather than a blockbuster theater experience, and I'll get into that later. The characters are well drawn and give the story backbone. Eve Kim, I think is all right. Ares, the digital construct, I think is all right. Julian Dillinger is effectively cold and ambitious, serving as a believable antagonist who prioritizes personal ambition over ethics. Athena, played by Jodie Turner-Smith, I think is all right. Supporting characters provide the necessary human grounding without ever feeling like filler. Shout out to the dude, Jeff Bridges. I wanted more, but it was good to see him back, even if it was for just 5 minutes and just doing a short cameo. While the film never dwells too long on personal backstory, the character dynamics feel somewhat natural and a bit rushed at times, but motivations are clear. The film also explores themes of legacy, no pun intended, and the consequences of technology, with programs like Ares questioning the purpose of his existence and the users interacting with them. I think it's all right. While it's tempting to draw parallels to the original Tron and Legacy, Ares builds its own world without relying entirely on the nostalgia. So this is where it feels more like a generic B-movie sci-fi script, vice a Tron script. And what didn't help was the lack of the musical cues. I mean, I love Nine Inch Nails, don't get me wrong, but they were hit or miss. Sometimes the soundtrack really fit well, and then a lot of times I was like, where's Daft Punk? Where's Daft Punk? We need Daft Punk in this film. The story unfolds methodically, balancing the race to harness digital permanence with moments that explore Ares' emergent individuality. B-movie sci-fi? The pacing is consistent, letting sequences breathe without feeling drawn out. The digital to real world integration, I think, is all right. The 29-minute lifespan limit for programs adds tensions without feeling gimmicky. While some sequences might feel familiar to sci-fi fans, the stakes are clear and the world rules remain consistent. The digital constructs interact with the real world, give the story some weight. The film is careful to show the consequences of tampering with technology while keeping the narrative accessible. Scenes like navigating the grid are visually stunning and conceptually engaging. Though at times the acting and exposition feel slightly weak, there's an issue that none of the characters in the movie are memorable. I felt like Legacy made the characters a bit more memorable. Like I can still remember some of the characters from Legacy and some of the dialogue they had, some of the actions they took. With Tron Ares, I feel like there is none, except for Jeff Bridges. I mean, he's the dude. You're never gonna forget the dude. Possibly to appeal to a wider Disney Plus audience. Welcome to the world of streaming. More on that later. The movie delivers impressive visuals. The light cycle sequences, digital cityscapes, and practical effects are polished, high quality, and visually striking. The movie looked good. I'll give it that. The movie looked really good. But some of the visuals, and I'm not talking about the CGI or the practical effects. I'm talking about when you see the actors in front of the camera, that looks like a Disney Plus streaming service kind of show. It looks like what we used to get as kids back in the day when we were watching Disney Channel movies, originals and stuff like that. It didn't feel like it was designed to be in front of a movie theater. It felt like it should have just been streamed at home so you can sit in your living room and enjoy the movie there. Because, I mean, honestly, that's where I watched it, and that's why I felt like it wasn't that bad. But I started thinking, what if I had to drive 30 minutes to my nearest movie theater? It wouldn't have been worth it. it definitely would have been worth it. I think the way I saw it made it worth it. That's probably why I don't understand the excessive hate that the movie is getting. But then again, I'm also not a Tron fan like that. So I can understand where Tron enthusiasts on YouTube and social media that they didn't like the film at all. I can understand that. But I can also see some of the cues where they did pay homage and respect to the original Tron movies. It's all right, just like my review I'm doing right now. While watching characters jump in and out between the digital and real world sequences, the aesthetic is very much in line with the Tron universe, which what gives Ares a distinct identity. Maybe the real special effect in every Jared Leto movie is watching expectations slowly dematerialize.
No! No!
Damn!
I really think there really is a Jared Leto movie curse. Now, I don't really think there's a Jared Leto curse per se, but every time he's the leading role, something go wrong with the movie. Look, the meat and potatoes of it, the movie thoughtfully explores artificial life and individuality, with Ares' journey towards self-awareness raising ethical questions about creating expendable digital soldiers. But despite this, it doesn't feel like a Tron movie. The trademark wonder, spectacle, and iconic aesthetic of the franchise are present in visuals, but the film feels more like a decent sci-fi story using the Tron name other than a continuation of the Tron experience. The film also touches lightly on corporation ambition, particularly in Dillige's ruthless pursuits. While some beats may feel like standard sci-fi fare, power struggle, corporate espionage, and technology run amok,
I think it's all right.
the execution is competent, with good storytelling, clear stakes, and an okay resolution for both the digital construct and human characters. But we didn't want to see this. We wanted the grid, brilliant lit up cities, arenas, flying discs, and cool vehicles with a soundtrack to work out to.
Team Jesus, feel great. Doyle feels great. I feel like Jesus, forgive me.
We wanted more of the follow-up to Tron Legacy. Overall, I'm gonna give this one an average. A good movie, enjoyable and well made, though occasionally overshadowed by the high expectation attached to the Tron brand. I can't help but notice a trend in modern movies and media. More and more films feel like they're being made for streaming platforms rather than theaters. There's a sense that the spectacle, the scale, and the ambition that once defined a cinema experience are being dialed back to fit in the living room. Tron Ares is a perfect example. Most movies nowadays are being made for streaming services. And I know a lot of people think, what's the problem with that? It's super convenient, and I get that. However, there was a reason why movies were being released in movie theaters. It felt more of a spectacle, felt amazing. It felt like you were going into another world. You want to get away from the real world. That's the point of movies. That's the point of the theater experience. With streaming movies, you don't get that. You're still in your living room. You're still in your house. This movie reminded me a lot of services like Netflix, Xbox. Everything they post on those services is just all right. It's just enough for you to get by. It's just enough to keep you on the subscription. That's what this movie felt like. It was just enough just to get you to watch it on a streaming platform, except it was released in a theater. While it carries the Tron name, which sets up a certain expectation, it occasionally feels like a standalone story that could exist without the Tron logo. It's entertaining, well made, but the cinematic grandeur you might hope for from a Tron branded movie is noticeable and scaled down, making it feel more like a high quality streaming release than a must-see theater experience. While the acting questionable at times, the characters are engaging, the visuals are polished, and the pacing keeps you invested to the finish. Some elements, like the soundtrack, even with the certain nostalgic touches, might disappoint die-hard fans of Tron Legacy or the original Tron, but the film has its own merits. It's not a groundbreaking addition to the franchise, and yes, some moments feel generic, but the story and world building and the finality are pretty good. Watching it, I felt satisfied, entertained, and curious about the possibilities for future Tron stories.
No!
Or not. Hey, yo. But I love that throwback at the very end. And when the grandson took over the villain cube or disc from the grandfather to be the new villain, That was a nice throwback. That was a nice callback. It's so sad that the movie's going nowhere after that. That's a shame. That's really a shame. It was dope. I like that. I like that. I don't know what's next for Tron. If they really wanted to keep pushing this IP, this movie, I mean, I was all right with it. At the end, this is just an average movie. You can't do nothing about it. It's just average. It's all right. It's all right. It just left me feeling, is this what a big budget sci-fi film should achieve? So, have you seen Tron Ares? Let's discuss. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and please don't forget what to do. Shout out to my boy for the track. Join me next time on Truly Timid Views, where we keep it real even when the movies don't. Until then, meet me at the grid. Hope you can throw some disc as we ride off on some light cycles and give one up to the dude. God bless, Jesus is King, and keep chasing your passion. What am I gonna do? Do it!